Good afternoon, this is Joel Block, and I want to share with you some more information about our real estate programs and some of the information that will help you to be both a successful real estate professional as well as a syndicator, promoter, equity sponsor, or whatever position it is that you want to put yourself into. If you want to put yourself into the position of being an investment professional, organizing the capital so that you can control the deal and so that you can be the one who calls the shots, making sure that everything about the property works exactly the way that you want, then I'm going to share some more information with you in this fourth section of our program. In a minute, you'll be able to download the fourth little book that we've prepared. And that fourth booklet is all about where do you go to get investors. There's nothing that's more key to this whole formula and the whole project than finding investors. And this is where we go to get them. So in this booklet, there are a number of questions that members of our audiences from our live programs and from our telephone calls have asked us. I'd like to share some of those with you. You're welcome to read them, but I'm also going to editorialize just a little bit on a few of those topics right now. The first topic that's in that little booklet is where are the investors? And before you can answer the question about where the investors are, you have to understand that there's lots of different kinds of investors. First of all, the kinds of investors that most of us are familiar with are called accredited investors. These are people that have a good net worth, that make a good living. They're not giant pools of funds, they're individual people, so there will be limits to the number of dollars that you can accumulate from these people. In order to accumulate dollars from these people, you have to abide by certain government regulations, and those regulations are both federal and state. We'll talk about some of those regulations later, because anytime you take money from individual people, you're taking and creating a security, and we'll deal with that later on. So where are the accredited investors? We'll get to that in a minute. But beside accredited investors, there are hedge funds. There are other kinds of investment vehicles, for example, broker-dealers. So as you work through the continuum of equity money, there's lots of different places that you can go to find capital. Be aware that every different kind of capital has a different kind of requirement, a different requirement for return, a different requirement for risk aversion and how much risk they're willing to take. Just be aware, because at every level, something different's going to happen. Here's the next question. As a real estate professional, I know where the deals are, but I don't have the credit or the Rolodex to get the money. What do I do? The easiest answer to solving the problem of knowing where the deals are but not where the money is to partner with people who know where the money is. If you're the real estate pro and you know where the deals are, and I know the real estate guys, and the real estate guys absolutely always know where the money is, know where the deals are, but not the money. The money guys, on the other hand, know where the money is, and they're looking for a home for that money. That's the reason that we do programs that put investors and real estate professionals in the same room. Because when we put people in the same room, magic starts to happen. We teach them, number one, how to structure deals that are complementary and work for both sides. And then we put them together and let different groups of people figure out exactly what they want. Because you have to remember that investors always like different kinds of things. Just because you show somebody a blue car doesn't mean that they're going to want to buy it from you. Just because you have a distressed apartment building, that doesn't necessarily work for somebody who likes higher end retail or commercial space. Be well aware that different people like different things. Know what your people like and then match what you offer to them to those people. They might be return investors, in other words, that they're looking for certain kinds of returns, or they might be people that like certain kinds of properties that they can go and they can knock on the walls and make sure that they get the kind of relationship with the real estate, with the promoters, with the real estate professionals, and everybody else. So be very careful that you match. That's the most important thing, is complementary skills. Put your heads together with somebody else, and you're going to be very satisfied with the outcome. The next question we get all the time, where are the lending sources? A lot of the lending sources have dried up for non-owner occupied properties. Some of the lenders across the country are still doing those kinds of deals. There's hard money, bad choice unless it's absolutely mandatory. But the hedge funds, depending on the size of the deal, are still looking for homes for the money. That's something that we can address in more detail later. And finally for today, How do you get investors? Where are the investors? First and foremost, in order for you to successfully acquire an investor, you're going to have to create a certain amount of credibility that you understand how to put deals together and that you can manage a deal. Just because you've done a real estate transaction as an intermediary, a broker or otherwise, doesn't necessarily make you somebody who could run a distressed deal. You have to have some background in what that is. If you don't have background, partner with somebody who does have that background so that that benefit and that experience accrues to you. Every way you go, you have to build credibility. We call that you have to develop your guru niche. You have to be an expert in something. And that is a big part of what we help you to do. We help you to figure out what part of the marketplace you're an expert in so that you can promote yourself as somebody who knows exactly what they're doing and exactly how to do it. And when you start doing exactly what you're good at and you do it with great confidence, people are going to flock to you because you're somebody who knows the score and they're going to want to be around you because you are going to be the jockey on a winning horse. Until next time, I'm Joel Block.